A library is more than just a collection of books. It is fundamental to our city's quality of life and a key to how we position Council Bluffs for cultural and economic success in the future. This is our library, and this is its story.
Our story really begins a few blocks away at the Carnegie Library, where the heritage of learning and the sense of community began.
In 1866, the first library was established in Council Bluffs. It did not become a public library until April 1882. In 1905, with funds from Andrew Carnegie, this library opened to the public as a free public library. And basically, there were no structural changes made to the old Carnegie Library. Although in 1952, a few renovations made the second floor open to the public. Children's services were moved to the second floor, and the school department was moved to the second floor. The north entrance was closed, and an elevator was installed. The space conditions became so acute that from 1968 forward, the library board was constantly working toward alleviating that problem. And now we're in this beautiful new building, which Dexter Bloomer, the first president of the library board, would have called a noble building.
In about 1945, it was first recognized that Council Bluffs needed a larger library. And as time went on, various efforts were made to make that possible, and they did not succeed. In 1983, the Council Bluffs Library Foundation was founded. And I think that the primary motivating factor in the creation of that foundation was to answer the question, how can we have a new library in Council Bluffs? And the decision had been reached that if the library of our dreams was to become a reality, that indeed the private community of Council Bluffs was probably going to have to make this happen. In 1995, after months of discussion and several significant decisions, it was decided the time was right for a fund drive. And in July of that year, the Council Bluffs City Council took action that appropriated $2.25 million as a kickoff gift to a fund campaign. The Iowa West Foundation, which is the charitable arm of racing and gambling in Council Bluffs, had also agreed to match whatever contribution the City of Council Bluffs made. So in mid-1995, we began a drive with a goal of approximately $8.7 million, with $4.5 million already committed. The Council Bluffs Nonpareil featured a front page effort day after day, encouraging contributions to the library and recognizing those who sent in funds. And those contributions ranged all the way from a few cents from small children to thousands of dollars. And always behind the scenes has been the Iowa West Foundation, who, when all was said and done, contributed 50% of the funds. And by the time that we announced success in mid-1997, we had raised over $13.5 million.
With the opportunity for a successful fund drive, the Library Foundation told the Library Board, start your design and be sure that it will be a design that will foster community pride and be large enough for future growth. Be sure it will include technology for the future. Tell your architect to dream and allow us to dream with him.
The Prairie School style let us develop a large building, but yet incorporate several elements that helped us appeal to the residential scale that surrounded us. It gave us a lot of ability to play with open space as well. The concept of this prairie style is to keep a lot of spaces open and allow for many activities to flow one into the other. So it's kind of neat that the library, although in its design and some of its features, we hope speaks a lot to the future of the library and the city, that these elements as you enter the building also give you an idea of what it was like as long as 100 years ago. The center space of the building as you walk in really is kind of an invitation as it opens up. The building opens its entire self up to you as you enter, and the second floor opens, and as a patron comes in, hopefully they have a sense of where almost everything is located in the library. And the ceiling stenciling that fits within the rhythm of the skeletal structure of the ceiling really becomes kind of a, as your eye lifts towards that upper section of the library, it's kind of a nice little surprise that you get at the top. We've tried to create an extension of the library out in front where the gazebo and the fountain create a little space where people can check out books and go sit out there and read and relax in an exterior setting with the trickle of water and things like that. With the sundial being kind of the central focus of that plaza, it starts to create kind of the division of pedestrian and automobile flow into the entry of the building.
The library has historically served three primary roles in the community. One is a popular materials center, a place to come for people to get fiction, children's books, young adult material, magazines, newspapers. It also serves as a reference and information center. People can come to get their business-related or personal questions answered. We'll have more spaces for people to come and sit and study and read and reflect. Will be completely accessible, so a whole clientele that we haven't been able to reach in the past will be able to come and make use of the library. The automated book return system will receive materials that people drop into the door from out the outside wall of the building, come in on a conveyor system, and be dropped into one of 3 smart bins. It's going to be much easier on the materials. They drop less far. It'll be much easier for the people who are doing the shelving. They don't have to bend down and stoop down and reach and pile books on carts. We have 2 self-check machines in the building, as well as the regular traditional circulation desk where people can come and check books out with a person. A patron can also use these machines and check books out themselves.
The concept of the library has changed. When Carnegie donated the money for the first library, knowledge was gained mostly from experience and the written word. Today, we learn from videotapes, internet access, teleconferencing, and CD-ROMs. It is a different world, and thanks to a donation from the Lead Foundation Trust, we can provide access to information through technology.
The Lead Information Technology Center is a designation thanks to the Lead Foundation Trust and their very generous gift to the library construction project. It's not so much a specific geographical location as it is distributed throughout the building. The Iowa Communications Network classroom is a part of that. The computer training lab is a part of that we will use for training staff or open it up to the public. Pods of technology scattered around the building for the online catalog, CD-ROM stations for information, internet computers for internet access, microfilm, microfiche reader printers, small conference rooms that are wired and cabled for computers. The entire building flexibly wired and cabled for computers, so it's all a technology center. There are several alcoves on both levels of the building where people can go and sit and study, read, reflect, away from the stack areas and the study tables and the study carrels. Nearly a third of the public space on the main floor is devoted to youth services. We will have a separate activities, multi-purpose activities space now, so that parents can be bringing their children in to a story time or a puppet show or some sort of activity that we are sponsoring, and be separate from the people just trying to find books in stacks or getting information from the youth services desk. There is also going to be a large kind of stadium window seating area on several tiered levels so that parents and kids can come and sit and interact together, read together. We will have some framed art scattered throughout the building on loan to us permanently from the Council Bluffs Federated Women's Club. We have a suite of rooms we call the Special Collections area. This will combine several parts of our collection into one area for study of local history and perhaps genealogy, regional history, Iowa history, Council Bluffs history.
A building, a community center, a technology center, a collection of books, music, and art, a repository for historical documents. It's a library. But what does it really mean to our community?
The information age that we live in requires access for everybody, I mean virtually everybody, to information, not only printed information but technological information, access to the internet, access to computers, the ICN network in Iowa, and all of those facilities are encompassed in this building. It's not only a library in a sense of a repository of information and knowledge, it's also a place where people can get universal access to all these databases. In the world we live in, information is the basis for income. I mean, it's the way in which people are going to be able to succeed, prosper, grow financially, but even more important probably than that, it helps them become educated, well-informed citizens and participants in our democracy, which is very, very important.
Here it is, a library built by people who believe the key to success is in education, and a prosperous future depends upon access to information for everyone. It is a library with a foundation rich with history and tradition, accessible to all who wish to use it, and giving access to the world. It is a library prepared for the future and all the challenges the future brings.
Welcome to your library. We are proud of this building and all it symbolizes for our community. We hope that you will use this beautiful facility to its fullest potential. We thank the foundation, the donors, and the community for giving us the opportunity to fulfill our dreams. We hope you'll use this library to fulfill your dreams.